Charter California edition. I'm Brad Pomerance, and we are joined today by Roberto Uranga. He is a member of the Long Beach City Council, but he is now the newest commissioner of the California Coastal Commission. Sir, congratulations. What a feather in your cap. I am really happy for you and proud of you. I've known you for some time. You had been a leader in the California Community College system, the National Community College system, and now you're on the Coastal Commission. How did it happen?
Well, it's very simple, actually. I was nominated by Supervisor Don Knabe. Got a call, said, would I accept the nomination to be on the Coastal Commission? I said, absolutely, I'm honored to do so. So I submitted my application. It was given to the Senate Rules Committee, and eventually Senator Pro Tem Kevin De Leon made the appointment.
I think you're being humble. I think you're being very humble because the California Coastal Commission is considered one of the most desirable commissions any member of our state can be on. I mean, literally, it is coveted beyond all. And it's also, what's unique about it is the makeup is very specific. There are 4 appointed by the governor, 4 by the Senate, 4 by the Assembly, and 6 of those must be locally elected, but not a mayor. Robert Garcia, who's the mayor of Long Beach, he had to step down when he became mayor because I guess under the rules he was not able to. He had been a council member. So, you know, the process is not an easy one. I have to think that once Garcia was kicked because of his movement to the mayorship, that other cities were grappling. We want to be on the Coastal Commission. So what happened?
Well, basically, it came down to who the Senator Pro Tem would feel comfortable nominating, and he felt very comfortable with me. Yes, I did have some, if you will, competition, even internally from within the city. And basically, what it comes down to is I'm going to be finishing off the Mayor Garcia's term. So it's a 2-year term. I'll be good till 2017. And then at that point, we'll see how it goes.
Reappointment.
A reappointment process would begin again, and then we'll see what happens, what goes on from there.
I have to think it helped having Don Knabe, the supervisor, support you. I know these are all nonpartisan positions, but he is known to be part of the Republican Party. You're known to be part of the Democratic Party, and so, you know, at a certain level, you had some nice bipartisan support.
Well, you know, and that's the wonderful thing about a Coastal Commission appointment is that it's nonpartisan. It is based on relationships with people. I've had an ongoing great relationship with the supervisor. And again, you're very honored that he thought about me and nominating me for that position. And especially that's in Long Beach. I mean, we were able to keep it in Long Beach with the mayor having been there and then myself following him in his footsteps.
And we think about how critical this coast is to Long Beach. I mean, look, you're the California Coastal Commissioner, so you're concerned about the whole coast. But the number of jobs tied to our coast here in Long Beach, with the Long Beach Port, the Twin Port, the Los Angeles Port, lots of construction, the Middle Harbor Project. I mean, it really is critical for this city that the coast be protected and used in an appropriate way.
Well, there's a lot of projects up and down the coast that are taking place that the Coastal Commission is reviewing. There are golf courses, for example, on the shore that impact wetlands
and
areas.
Let's talk about that because, you know, in my little world, my father, when I was growing up, owned a pharmacy in Malibu. That's what he was. He was a pharmacist. He owned a pharmacy in Malibu. And because the pharmacy was right on Pacific Coast Highway, the Coastal Commission was involved in anything and everything that happened in his area. And so I've always been kind of aware of the power of the Coastal Commission. And I don't necessarily say that pejoratively, but the Coastal Commission really, I mean, they wield a lot of influence. And in some ways, California is a bit schizophrenic on growth issues in the coast. You know, they want to keep their beautiful, pristine coast, but at the same time, they want to spur economic development. And so how are you, look, you've been to all of one meeting, but talk to us about that balance.
Well, and it's interesting because the most recent meeting that I went to, we dealt with local access issues. And that's where the Coastal Commission really comes into play. It's about allowing and having local access for individuals who don't have that access.
It's funny you mentioned that because in Malibu, that has been a very significant issue. And I know that, I mean, this is a famous case. David Geffen of DreamWorks fame, of music fame, he was ultimately required to create some beach access. But it was a 20-year process. I mean, beach access is a very sensitive issue for so many.
It is, and what it comes down to again is the fact that there should be public access to all our beaches and not have any private beaches.
Right.
That's just not possible. With the other points of it also is that if there's construction, what is that construction going to do? What effect is it going to have on the environment? What effect it's going to have on local access?
But how do you balance the desire for access with the desire for at least some development? I mean, look, these $10 million homes, in Malibu and Ventura and Oxnard, okay, some people see that as a bit much, but look, they are economic drivers, and so you do want to create a scenario whereby we're protecting our coast, we're creating access, but also allowing for some development, I would presume.
Yeah, and that's the fine balance that the Coastal Commission has to draw. There's 12 individuals, as you mentioned.
Right.
4 of them are elected, 4 are appointed. I mean, 6 are appointed. 6 are elected, 6 are appointed. And so, and we cross the spectrum of political and personal backgrounds.
Do you, though? I mean, there had been a perception that the Coastal Commission came from a very, again, not a pejorative term, a very left of center perspective. And a lot of folks felt as if there wasn't a lot of diversity of political thought.
Well, there wasn't, but a lot of it has to deal with protecting the environment. I mean, that was essentially the genesis of the Coastal Commission, was to protect the coast, to make sure that the coast is protected and available to everyone.
And we talk about the coast today, and the coast is now being looked at as a potential source for water.
Yes.
You live in Long Beach, you know that water is an issue.
Yes, it is.
And so now there are discussions up and down the coast about desalination.
Right.
And we know right down the road in Huntington Beach, desalination.
And up the road in Santa Barbara.
Exactly. I mean, that's where I was going to go. Santa Barbara is talking about revitalizing its mothballed desal plant. Carlsbad, I believe, as well. They're about to go online. So what happens on that question, the desal question? And then there's Diablo Canyon in San Luis Obispo, a nuclear plant.
Right.
But let's focus on desal. We can get to Diablo if you
like. Well, the issues with desal is doing it right and doing it with environmentally safe, so it doesn't harm marine life.
Right.
So that it can be very, very beneficial for the state in terms of creating other sources of water. But the devil's in the details when it comes down what kinds of projects you're going to create out there. Other issues with desal plants is the fact that they're very expensive.
Yes.
And they very high energy consumers. Takes a lot of energy to make water. And so the balance that we have to draw there is not only being able to make or create clean water, but doing it in such a way that it doesn't affect the environment in a very negative way.
But how does the Coastal Commission protect those interests while moving with all due speed? Because as you know, we're in trouble. And so, the rap on the Coastal Commission from way before you joining is that it was such a laborious process to get anything the Coastal Commission took years. And look, I don't know. As it relates to the drought, we don't have years.
Well, we have a member in the commission who is one of the governor's appointees working in water.
I see.
In the Water Commission. So she gives us updates as to what's taking place, where we're at. One of the more important items that she brought up recently is how, in fact, impactful the lack of rain, the lack of snow, and the impact, the compact of snow in the mountains has really been. And she showed a very descriptive picture that showed 5 years ago the full snowpack that we had in the mountains.
Devastating.
And then the most recent picture that we had, and it was just like devastating. It wasn't there.
I want to thank you for joining us. I want to congratulate you. His name is
Roberto
Uranga. He is a member of the Long Beach City Council, now a California Coastal Commissioner. I'm Brad Pomerance. It's Charter California Edition.